Rigetti stock is continuing to roar today, up into new highs, up to $28 a share. You see quantum computing seeing a big move, but specifically, I want to focus on Rigetti. One thing we were trading this morning in our daily live trading session, we got into SOXS, which was the inverse of the semiconductor market for a short period. Right now, it's only up about 1% on the smaller position, so about $40 profit. If you ever want to tune on into our daily live trading sessions, it's the second link in the description below. So let's take a look at Rigetti. They're up 13% today, up to $28.19. So there's a lot of noise. And there's three things we're going to go over today, which is the markets, the analysis, and then the potential for profit. When we look at the stock, we've been covering it since last year, around $1 a share. And we also have been buying it in our Schwab portfolio since then, as well as we have some positions now. This one's up 171.3 or 0.1% right now, as it's fluctuating pretty big today in this trend that we've seen. But here's the hard truth, right? When we started covering it and they had that big crash in January after NVIDIA said quantum's 15, 30 years away, then we went to the conference, we figured out, oh no, they are actually looking really good. So we continued to double down, continued to buy, and we see them continue to rocket up here. Now, the thing about the numbers, when you get into it, they've recovered since then and continued to recover up to $26 or $28 now. But really what we're talking about here in the numbers is that Rigetti has a hard truth, which is while they're surging here and they're going to all-time highs, their revenue for the latest quarter was 1.8 million. So their operating expenses were over $20 million and their net loss for the quarter was nearly 40 million. So if they're almost 40 million loss, basically, don't look away from the numbers. They do tell you a story of the company burning far more than it earns. Yet they also hold about $500,000 here in runway or over that right now. Total assets are at 636 million. When you got $500 million, not a million, $500 million, thanks to the recent capital raises they've had, they're not in danger right now of vanishing tomorrow. They have the runway, but remember, the runway is nothing without the lift. So while they've had this, they've also got to see more contracts like they got yesterday. That's how they make money. So how they make money, and this is kind of getting into the news, there's a lot of noise. And that's what we see, a lot of targets. This is pretty cool, actually. If you invested $1,500, yielded $36,000 today. Market cap is at 6.5 billion, but they just signed a contract here, Air Force Research Laboratory as well. So that is actually some useful info. That's $5.8 million for quantum networking. And they're partnering with a Dutch startup called QFox. And the market impact that they're having right now, so far as their market cap continues to grow as a result of this contract. And also that they've had a lot of support from the US government in their quantum. This is exactly how they make money, right? They have kind of how classical HPC or how people have been building data centers for GPUs. They're working on building quantum networks and developing leading frequency conversion systems for quantum applications is the company that they're partnered with for long-range quantum state transfer between cryogenically cooled quantum processors. So a key challenge to the networking superconducting quantum computers is the need to convert microwave signals, which are used in control superconducting qubits, to optical photons and can travel along those fibers. So essentially, they have a project here that aims to deliver systems providing entanglement between superconducting qubits and optical photons. It's a pretty high level, high demand contract from the Air Force Research Laboratory. So that's how they make money, right? They earn research contracts often with government agencies. And they do it by providing access to their systems through the cloud and from professional services or building out infrastructure. This is not yet a business of recurring predictable sales that we've seen. It's more of like a contract to contract basis. It is at present a business of projects, partnerships, and promises. Now, this is a company with its hands in like the clay, the building of tomorrow with quantum computing. And they got their QPUs. Its aim is not to improve what already exists, but to create what has never been built. Okay. That is both a great promise and also it's a great risk because what they do right now, they're a full stack company. They have this quantum computer. We could go through the dilution refrigerator, signal chain, down to the temperature stages. They just unveiled a 36 qubit chiplet based computer with significantly reduced error rates. So that's a critical step, which is the error rates. And they're also doing the engine of the processors. They're doing the software. They're doing the cloud through customers like Amazon and Microsoft. And they're giving a lot of big tech companies access to their machines and also some smaller research centers. They're attempting to build basically the shovel, okay? And the mine is also what they're building. And then they're also building the market all at once. And so they're really going, it's a big feat, this quantum computing companies um market that they're in. But the quantum market's expected to grow to between 3 to 5 trillion dollars over the next 5 to 10 years, according to Microsoft and IBM at a recent conference we went to. So you can see all of their quantum computers here. They got a few setups here that they have available for research and for you to see the specifications. Again, they just unveiled Cepheus, which is their 36 qubit chiplet based computer. Qubits 36. This is a critical step here because fidelity 99.9 there, you can see per operation. One thing to note, they just unveiled this last month. Quantum power is useless if it's riddled with mistakes. So they claim their 2 qubit gates here at 99.5% fidelity or over that. And so the ambition is to release a 100 plus qubit system, is where they're going to right now, which they'd like to do within a year from now. So it's very ambitious as they're at 36 qubits right now, but it's also, if they execute it, that's what the investors are watching. So we see some institutional holdings. Now we get into some of the numbers, right? The institutional holdings show that they're seeing increased positions, many increased positions from Vanguard and BlackRock. If you invest here, right, which we're an investor in Rigetti, just to disclose, we like the stock. I was like a kid in a candy store after they pulled back to $4 a share after the crash. I think that was the first time that I have told people what to buy, which I don't ever. Or when I was younger, I used to do that, but I don't tell people what to buy. I just do the analysis. But I did basically call family members one by one and told them, hey, this pullback that we just saw down to $5 might never happen again for these quantum companies. And I think our average price is around $6 for people like my mother, who I called and I was like, Mom, let's get you. And I set up some things in her portfolio. She's very happy. I think she's over 100% gain on the portfolio this year, which is tremendous. But what it means for you, if you're looking at Rigetti right now, right? There's been a lot of stocks we've been following here. Taiwan Semi, you got Black Skies up, OSS, Rigetti's leading the way. You're not buying a proven enterprise when you buy Rigetti, you're buying possibility, because quantum computing is based on or at least the market sentiment right now is based on Rigetti reducing their errors, scaling their qubits up, and delivering practical commercial advantages through their quantum computers. It could reward you super handsomely, which it has so far for most quantum investors. In fact, almost no one that has bought Rigetti stock has lost money at this point. It's at an all-time high. If it cannot deliver on those things, then there's no amount of vision that will rescue the losses. So in other words, if we see a pullback and they don't continue to deliver on what's expected of quantum, it's not going to rescue the losses. So what's the intelligent course? If you believe in quantum computing and you have capital and you can afford to place a long bet, then a small position is definitely justified. But you must watch closely, and you got to watch revenue growth, contract wins, technical milestones, not indicators, but actual milestones in the company. And those are the true signals for the long-term investors. And I want you to remember this, that the success you have investing is going to be based on your progress that you make towards your goal. If that is trading short-term trades, excellent. Have a plan and a goal for that trade. If that's long-term, most people, whether they realize it or not, there is a story being written when they're investing. So don't let the market decide the plan for you. Decide the plan for yourself when you invest. That's going to put you in the best case scenario for investing in the quantum markets. So at an all-time high that we're at now, we see the technicals, nothing to really tell you other than it's on the technical side indicating a sell as it's way up high. On a sentiment side, it's very bullish, obviously. And the next targets for Rigetti, conservatively on a pullback, would be $25 or $26 a share, as that is the previous resistance, which we have for the most part when we're in bull trends. We'll see that previous resistance get validated. And we haven't really seen that because it's just going straight up. But next level of support would be right here at about $26. That would be the conservative near-term target. And then bullish case would be just an absolute continuation up into higher highs or something like that. So just keep that in mind as the sky is the limits right now as we're at all-time highs. So I appreciate you all. Thanks so much for tuning in. And let's see. Speaking of things that have no limit to their potential, the growth of AI is happening fast. And right now, you can get access to the best AI models in the world to do research for you on companies. In fact, we could pull up Rigetti right now, and it's going to analyze the charts. It's going to look at the financials, tie the relativity to the future projections. It's looked at the press releases. And according to our system, it's saying Rigetti may go up 3% in the next day. Now, Rigetti daily trend aligns with bullish patterns, prices moving above the averages. And when we get a detailed analysis, daily charts show a bullish flag pattern developing, suggesting if the price holds above 28, it could lead to significant rally continuation. So what we're looking at here, institutional ownership saw a 10% increase in the last month. These are the types of insights that allow us to make good decisions in the market. And if you ever want to have these AI models do research for you, you can have a look at the reveal of the machine and the first link in the description. If you guys ever want to tune on into the second link in the description, you'll get access to our daily live trading sessions. You can watch me trade live every morning at market open. Thanks so much for tuning. If I earned your thumbs up, again, that's the second link in the description below. If I earned your thumbs up, hit the like button. Do consider subscribing, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.